Topping today's news, Prime Minister Davis heads to New York for the 80th session of the United Nations. Another group of public service workers to get a salary increase. The government cracking down on illegal American fishing charters in Bahamian waters. And the culture minister responds to claims of victimization by the world-famous Valley Boys. This is your JCN Evening News. I'm Jareno Saunders. Thank you so much for joining us. Prime Minister Philip Davis is heading to New York to attend the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly. The Prime Minister's week-long program will include the delivery of the Bahamas' national statement before the General Assembly that is scheduled for Saturday, September 27th. He will also participate in bilateral meetings and in high-level events as well. Bilateral meetings are set to be held with the President of Namibia, the Crown Prince of Kuwait, and the President of Kosovo, which will provide an opportunity for the Bahamas to present its platform for the advancement of priorities as it relates to climate resilience, energy reform, equitable development, and global partnerships. During his absence, Education Minister Glenys Hannah Martin will serve as acting Prime Minister until September 24th, and Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper will serve as acting Prime Minister from September 25th until the Prime Minister returns on Saturday, September 27th. Public servant workers, their review exercise has been completed. The government says the latest round of increases will be reflected in the December pay period and will be retroactive to September 1st, 2025. The employees not covered in the June adjustment will receive a minimum of 2 salary increments, with the size of that increase varying in various categories. With this adjustment, public service officers will have seen increases to their base compensation over the last 4 years, ranging from 8% to 31%, with the largest percentage increases going to entry-level employees. College graduates, including graduate nurses, graduate teachers, they will see their base compensation increase by 19% over the same period. Today, many Bahamian residents, they're expressing their disgust and anger after a 59-year-old deacon was sentenced to 20 years in prison for molesting a 10-year-old girl. The disgraced clergyman reportedly showed no emotion as Justice Dale Fitzpatrick handed down his sentence after a 9-member jury found him guilty, despite his claims of innocence. He was convicted of 2 counts of unlawful sexual intercourse with a dependent. Following her mother's death, the victim was living with the deacon and his wife, her maternal aunt. That was in January and February 2023, when the convict, then 56 years old, anally raped the child on 3 separate occasions, in his bedroom while his wife, who has limited mobility due to a stroke, was in another room. He was arrested after a school's guidance counselor alerted the authorities. The Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources gave an update on the successful outcome of the second Red Dawn operation carried out from the 18th to the 19th of September in the Berry Islands. It was launched to crack down on the problem of unlicensed foreign fishing charters that are illegally operating in Bahamian waters, mainly out of Florida. Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources Jomo Campbell spoke on the outcome of the operation.
Now, this was not just a routine patrol. It was a carefully planned covert operation designed to identify, monitor, and interdict individuals operating outside of Bahamian law. The evidence gathered indicates that the targeted vessel was operating in breach of the Fisheries Act, the Boat Registration Act, and other related laws. At the conclusion of this operation, the vessel and associated equipment were seized, and 3 arrests have been made. The matter has since been referred to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions for further legal proceedings, and additional details will be released at the appropriate time.
The enforcement action that the ministry has been putting in place, they're leading to convictions, fines, bans, and accountability in the courts. Campbell also spoke on the way forward for his ministry.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources is determined to confront enforcement challenges head on. Illegal fishing and unlicensed charters are not isolated problems. They are part of a wider set of pressures affecting our marine environment. That is why we are enhancing enforcement networks, strengthening interagency coordination, and working with partners such as Wild Aid and Barwin to introduce new tools, training, and technologies to this effort. And we once again emphasize, citizens and fishers who report violations are essential to ensuring that our laws are upheld and that offenders are held accountable.
The first Red Dawn operation was conducted in Grand Bahama in January earlier this year, resulting in the arrest of 3 Americans and the collection of over $100,000 in fines. The ministry affirms the public that there is zero tolerance of the exploitation of the country's natural resources or unfair competition against Bahamian businesses. Meanwhile, there is still also focus on preventing poachers from the Dominican Republic plundering the local marine resources. Finally, in this segment, from the Land Reform Committee Appreciation Ceremony at Government House last week, Attorney General Senator Ryan Pinder spoke on the new land reforms and the impact the legislation will have on the country. Mr. Pinder, he praised the dedication of the Land Reform Committee, calling their work one of the most significant legislative accomplishments in decades.
I don't need to tell you, the committee members, of the significance of what we have accomplished and what you have accomplished. But for the benefit of your guests in the room, it should be noted that the passage of the Land Adjudication Act and the Registered Land Act are major pieces of legislation for this administration. When enacted, this is going to transform our society, our economy, and they will mark a critical step towards the modernizing of land conveyancing and the securing of land tenure in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas as a major, major accomplishment. Under a system of registered land, all parcels are going to be clearly identified, and all information related to those parcels will be registered on a register, a public register. The accuracy of the register, this is what is so important, the accuracy of the register is going to be guaranteed by the government of the Bahamas through this process. Guaranteed. If your parcel is on the register, the title is guaranteed to be good. That is a tremendous accomplishment.
The Attorney General explained some of the significant benefits the new Land Adjudication Act 2025 and the Registration Land Act 2025 will have for Bahamians.
Much to the chagrin of some practitioners, there will be no need for tracing of title through back title deeds to satisfy oneself that the title of land is actually good and marketable. Instead, in essence, land buyers will rely on the government and not on an attorney or, better yet, their insurance provider to ascertain all the rights and the interest in land that they are buying. We will systematically register every parcel of land in the Bahamas. Just think about that. Every single parcel of land in the Bahamas will individually have to be registered on the register. A mammoth task. But that's to ensure that all property recorded and registered is in the name of the rightful owners. No more duplication of sales and of records. No more, hopefully, stealing of property.
The committee was put together by Prime Minister Philip Davis. We'll have more from that ceremony in a later newscast. We'll take a break here, though. We'll be right back following these commercials.